Hey guys, welcome back to Kim's Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make this taser. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is your electric fly swatter, of course, and these things are like $2. You can usually find them at Harbor Freight, so start by unscrewing this. It's very easy to get off, actually. It doesn't take much time. Alright, so this panel's off, and here are the wires we're working with. So you're going to want to take some pliers and pull this lead out to the positive wire. I'm going to go grab my pliers, got some right here, pull this out. It doesn't really matter if it's broken or anything as long as you just get the wire out of it. And pull that hot glue out. And now the wire's out. Boom. There's the wire. Make sure not to pull it off the motherboard because these are not soldered on well at all. In fact, you could either re-solder it or just take some hot glue and put it to it, which I'd recommend. So now I'm gonna take this. You can open this because the cords do go longer, so I'm going to do that because I don't really feel like having short cords, even though this is going to be a very small taser. I don't really feel like doing that because I really don't care if this gets broken at all. But yeah, I'm just going to start taking this apart now and being careful to not break these off the wire. Alright, so here's what it looks like now. You have these three things here, which this is how it conducts and shocks it when the fly comes up to it. So we don't really need any of this. You can save this for something like, I don't know, it's metal. So yeah, we don't need any of that. Just throw that away. Alright, so here is the thing. That's what we'll call it. Anyway, so you have two yellow wires and one blue wire. It does not matter which one of these you keep, they're both hooked up to the same thing, so you can cut one of them off or use both. It does not matter at all. Right now I actually have my hot glue gun plugged up, and that's going to pretty much reinforce the wires connected to the circuit board. In the meantime, we finish pulling this up, and now we have this. So pretty much this is the negative, this white wire here, and this is the push switch, which charges it up and then touch both of these ends together to anything and it'll shock it. So that's pretty much how that works. I'm going to also hot glue this because, like I said, $2, insanely cheap, but also very cheaply built. I'm going to take this board out of here. There's a screw on there. Take that off. And the board should come right out. And there we go. So here's the circuitry of the fly swatter. Nothing too complicated, but anyways, here you have the red LED, which when you push this, it'll turn on and show that it's charging up, and if that doesn't turn on, then it's not working. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm going to hot glue these together and I'll show you how to wire it all up. Alright, so here's the board now, and it has hot glue on all these things to keep it strong. And I hot glued the little button to it, which I didn't really need to do, but I did. So anyway, I was originally going to make a new body out of foam board, but instead I'm going to actually use this now, because this is easier. And my design I came up with is, it used D batteries before, and it was 1.5 volts each, so that's just, you know, this will be the same amount of voltage as that. So what I'm going to do is fit a 2 AA battery case inside of there, and hopefully the 2 AA battery case is going to go from here to here, and it's going to be about here to here. That's about how big it's going to be right there, and the little button is going to be there, and the actual shocking part, well, I don't know what I'm going to use for that yet, is going to go right here. So the cords are actually going to have to overlap and go that way. So what I'm going to do is screw this back in and make sure the light is in that hole. Do this, put the little screw back in there. And that's back in. And the light is sticking out now. Then I'm going to pull this red cord back here. And put this back in the little slot it slides into. And now the button is there, so that's where you're going to use to charge it up. And this is just, of course, going to sit comfortably like this. And boom. So it's just going to be like this. So that's not very big, and it's nice. So yeah, what I'm going to do is pretty much take an X-Acto knife and chop this all the way around here to where this is going to be flat. And then the little thing is going to be there. So yeah. Alright, so now I've actually, instead of using AA batteries, I'm using AAA because it fits in this way better and it's not so crammed in there. So I just have this wired up, positive and negative, to the switch and the actual board. So I'm just going to glue this down, and I cut all this with an X-Acto knife and kind of just shape it down to be exactly straight, and this is going to sit exactly like this. And then I'm going to have the one screw here, which is the screw, and that is I already tested it, it keeps it all tight. And I'm going to have a piece of foam board here glued to only one side only. It'll be glued to this side, and same with this side. And that way when you take it off, there's just a circle foam board there, and it's not actually hooked up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use screws for this part actually, so it will be sharp, but that's not really a problem, but yeah. Alright, so here it is. I have the wires going here now, and they're coming from the circuit board, which they come from this end, and I had to actually extend them with some black wire because they weren't long enough. I'm going to take these two nails, which sadly are a little bit rusted, but that's fine, doesn't really matter, and I'm going to mount them very close to each other to create an arc. That way, as soon as you press this button, it's always just going to be, there's always going to be an arc there, and it's going to make that nice sound. That's what we want, and that way you can still touch anything, it'll still shock that. But anyway, this fits on here just fine. And when like I said in the last clip, I'm just going to put a screw there, and it will pretty much hold this whole thing together. And I'm going to take one of these, cut out a circle for this side and this side. That way it's just flush, and then I'm going to super glue these two nails here. That way, because I wouldn't really think with how small the end of this is, I wouldn't really think that hot glue would hold that well enough, and I'm going to try to enforce it as much as I can. That way it is as strong as it can possibly be. That way anything you touch is not going to move or budge the nail at all. So I'm going to go do that. Alright, so here it is. I used super glue at first, then after that I used hot glue. So you can't really move it anywhere. It doesn't really wobble at all. And of course I've not put the foam board on the bottom or the top yet, but it does create an arc. It's really hard to see because that huge light up there. I'll do this. as you can see, when you're doing that, the light turns on and it charges it, and because it's super close to each other, because the nails are very close to each other, it creates the arc. And that's exactly what we want. And then usually it has a little bit of charge, so you need to discharge it, and boom. So yeah, perfect. Alright, so here it is. And as you can see here, we have the two AAAs, the switch, the two nails, the electrical tape covering this, the two circles of foam board, which are glued on one side, half and half, and then this thing, the one little screw there, goes into that hole. Put together, screw it together. And boom. This turned out great. I love it, and it works just great. It does not show up very well on camera, but I can see it just fine, and with my own eyes and all this light. And the camera makes it sound a lot different too. Anyways, you of course don't have to do the design I did, but I try to make it more portable and smaller, so I of course cut the ends off and stuff, and pretty much left the original body in the first place. But all you could do is take the fly swatter, leave everything on it, take off the yellow part, which is the with all the metal and stuff, take those wires out, and then put screws on it or anything like that. But if you want the arc, you have to make it super close like I did there. But yeah, so you can do that. You don't have to do it as complicated as I did, but like I said, I wanted mine to be more portable. But yeah, anyways, if you guys like this video, make sure to comment down below what you want to see next, and make sure to like this video and subscribe. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.